What's going on, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Um, it takes a village to raise a monster too. It's nighttime, man, a little tired, whatever. Sometimes people talk about black on black crime and what's going on with all these shootings. They always bring up Chicago, right? I've talked about this before. I grew up on the west side of Chicago, excuse me, but I've lived other places because I wasn't born there. So what I'm gonna get into is this. I was born in. If I give you all three of the major ones, it was, I guess, some of the toughest places. You know. Now people forget something. A lot of these shootings involve um, young males, teenagers. A lot of times, maybe early 20s. Yes, that's a parenting issue. See, if your kid has a gun and you don't know, and you a parent, something wrong with you and how you run your household. If your kid's in the game and you don't know, something wrong with you as a parent. If your kid's out at some outlandish time of night, something is wrong with you as a parent. If your kid's selling drugs and you don't know this, something is wrong. And you roll all of those factors into one thing and you get a pretty messed up situation because this crime is not really due to just violence for no reason. The crime is really due to no undisciplined kids who don't have parents who got common sense. Now, why I say it takes a village to raise a monster too is this: when your kids preschool age and you playing the worst type of rap, or it's not rap, we can't blame it all on rap, but when you bombard kids with ignorant or not ignorant, just negativity in general, they will turn out to be negative. When you turn on your radio and all the songs are negative and they dancing to the negative songs, it's your job to cut that shit off. Like, I'll take my son somewhere and hit the station and they playing something. We gonna listen to the old R&B station. Ain't nowhere in hell you should be knowing these other songs. That's how I was. That's how I went when I was a kid. As a matter of fact, and even with the artists, I didn't even know the artists were being raunchy until I became an adult and was able to decipher the double entendres and the references because they kept it in the song so a child could get it one way and an adult can get it another. Watching TV. Your kid does not need to see every murder, shootout, car chase, bank robbery, um, what a kidnapping, drug deal, SWAT bust, military expedition on the planet. Why? Yeah, make their ass watch cartoons, but some of the cartoons ain't like they used to be either. But if you're gonna have all that craziness in it, make it look like it's childish and it really just shouldn't exist. That you couldn't really do that shit in real life. But letting them watch these crazy ass movies, that's not gonna work out well at all because you're giving them ideas. You're letting them listen to negative music, then you're letting them watch negative, um, put negative information in their heads. And then here's the kicker: reading, history, math. No teaching of economics. That's why some of this stuff happens, even with these kids shooting in the streets who are dealing drugs. So they made money, then they blew it because they don't know how to save money, or they're out in the streets making money because their parents don't know how to save money, and they got these kids supposed to be chipping in for adults. You got to pay the light bill, and you 14 years old. You got to bring in some income, and you're a sophomore. You get what I'm saying? That's not cool. So if we're going and and for the family members uh who are worse off, because I'm not just going. This is not just a single mother thing or a single father thing or absentee mother or father thing. This is a family. Excuse me. This is a family thing. When you see your family members behaving badly, stop cheering them on. It's not cool to see a little 4-year old girl twerking. It's not cool to see a little 4-year old boy sagging, walking around like that kid that was on the internet. I'm grown. That's not cool. And furthermore, when people check people like that, stop defending it. But I'm gonna get into that in another video because we right. I hate the fact that people say these kids are out of control when these kids are not out of control. These parents and these villages raise these kids to be monsters, but then they act like they don't know what the fuck happened. See, it ain't the kids, it's the adults. I'm out.